This video is all about how to qualify for the Home Partners of America Rent-to-Own program. Home Partners of America is a company that will purchase a home of your choice for you and then give you the option to buy it at a future date while you're renting it out. To get a greater understanding of how that works, check out other videos I have in this series that describe rent-to-own lease options in depth. So how to qualify? To start, they're looking for households with a combined income of $40,000 or more here in Las Vegas. Realistically, however, with inventory levels being very low and rising home prices being substantial, to afford a home comfortably in Vegas, a combined income of at least $65,000 to $75,000 is more practical. Also, the minimum household requirement may vary in other states, so it's good to have a local realtor in your local area that knows about the program. If you don't have one, reach out to me through the links in the description and my team and I can find one for you. So back to the households. Combined income of $40,000. That means that, though, if you have an over the 18 adult child living in your home that works part-time at the food court, that income can be considered, but it also must be considered at the start of the application process and cannot be considered afterward. So you will need to have all your information ready before you formally apply. Also note that unemployment benefits can also be considered as well. So your Uncle Bob that moved in with you after he lost his job and is collecting unemployment, his income can count as well, as long as he doesn't have any disqualification criteria. I'll talk about that in a minute. However, someone in your household application must have stable employment, and there must be no recent history of evictions, no pending bankruptcies. They have to have an acceptable criminal history. So to get started, you will apply online with a pre-qualifying questionnaire. And let's bring that up for you so you can see what it looks like, because it's rather straightforward. Number 1, does your household make a minimum gross income of $40,000? We already talked about that. Number 2, does any household member have an open, unsatisfied Chapter 7 bankruptcy? That means that unless you've gotten that final letter saying your bankruptcy is over and that you have met all your obligations and it is discharged, you won't qualify. It has to be completely in the past, even by only one day, but it has to be completely over. Chapter 13 is different, so this question only applies to Chapter 7. If you have a 13, the answer is no because you have a 13, not a 7. Question 3 is about past evictions. You need to be able to answer no to this question. You can have a person living with you, like your Uncle Bob on unemployment, that has been evicted, but you cannot use their income to count towards your qualifying household income. So, basically, you cannot have been evicted in the past 5 years. Question 4 is about whether you have ever failed to pay the rent and it has gone to collections in the past 3 years. Once again, any member of your household that has had an issue with this in the past, their income can't be counted towards that $40,000 annual income requirement. Questions number 5 and 6 relate to past criminal history. Number 5 mentions OFAC sanctions list. I didn't know what that was and I had to look it up. And if you don't know what it is, most likely you're not on the list, which is a good thing. You also cannot have had a felony conviction in the past 6 years. So, those are the 6 pre-screening questions, and you do those online, and it's free, to see if you're a good fit and determine if you want to move forward with the formal application process, where you will provide extensive information about your financial situation and pay an application fee. The fee is per household, not per household member, and is only paid once while you're finding a home. Currently, that fee is somewhere between $30 to $99, depending on which state you live in. Here in Las Vegas, for a limited time, that fee is $35 when it usually is $75. So, the formal application, you will need to have a minimum credit score of 580. If you are a W-2 employee, you will need to have your last 30 days pay stubs, and if you're a 1099, you will need to have your last year's tax return and 2 bank statements. And if you're relocating and starting a new job, you'll need your job offer letter with your start date and starting salary. Home Partners of America will be looking at your credit score, your debt to income ratio, your housing and employment history. The key to a successful application is to have all your paperwork in order. Have all of it and submit it all at once. If you leave anything out, your application can be delayed, or worse yet, it can be not denied, all because you left out an important detail. So make sure that you do it right the first time. And if you do, you can generally get a response between 3 to 4 business days. So what happens next? Once you are approved, you will be given the maximum amount of rent you will qualify for, and then you can call your trusty real estate advisor and start looking for your new home. Now, there are only certain homes that Home Partners of America will buy, so before you start looking and make sure that you are and your agent are aware of what those homes are. It warrants a video all on its own, so look for that video in this series that outlines exactly what Home Partners will buy and which ones they won't. That way you won't get your hopes up only to be disappointed, and you will be able to have a clear goal of what to look for, which is especially important in today's market. With such little inventory, you don't want to miss out. So to recap, you start by pre-qualifying, and once you've made it through that process, you make a formal application where you submit your proof of income and other qualifying documentation. Once you're approved for a rent amount, you get with your trusted real estate advisor and you start looking for homes that meet Home Partners of America criteria and find one you like. And then once you do, your agent will submit the paperwork to Home Partners of America and they will purchase the home for you. After the home has settled and any make-ready repairs are done, you move in. That's it. You have a home that you can purchase when it suits you. If you like this video, be sure to like, share, subscribe, and then hit that bell icon so that you don't miss out on any future videos that I post to this channel. Once again, I am Jordan Quinn, and as always, I am wishing you the gift of a most wonderful life. Thank you so much for watching this all the way to the end.